Hey guys, King of Trymaners here, and today I bring to you a huge update called Driftsmelting, adding more equipment skills to your armor, and this can create a brand new meta. So Monster Hunter Now devs just dropped a bombshell of an update. So I actually knew this from before. I actually knew this from before, like looking at data, etc. But I never knew what it was, but it's called Driftsmelting, and this is a new feature that can add more equipment skills to your armor. This update can revolutionize builds and create super builds that can be the new meta. It's going to be awesome, it's going to be exciting, and what's even better is decorations aren't even out the game yet. So, this actually is related to something else. It was a Monster Hunter Rise, and I'm going to mention that at the end of this video. But yes, welcome to Driftsmelting. Alright, let's jump right into it. Here are Driftsmelting Details. So, Driftsmelting allows you to add skills at random using a new menu called the Driftsmelting menu. So this is going to be done by tapping on the bottom right icon in the equipment menu, and this will take you to the Driftsmelting menu. Each time you drift smelt, one skill will be added at random. So it's not going to be something that's for sure. It's going to add a random skill, and there's going to be a list of them. We're going to go over them later in the video, but yes, it will be at random. So you're going to have to roll over and over again before you can actually get the skill you want. But again, we're going to cover all these details, but the exciting thing is we're going to get to add new skills to our armor. But as with everything, there's a caveat. Driftsmelting will be completed after walking a certain distance. So you need to complete a certain distance, and this is very similar to Poke Eggs, like in Pokemon Go. And then after that, Driftsmelting will be able to add that equipment skill onto your armor. However, there's a new process called Insta-Smelt Solution that can finish drift smelting instantly. This is probably going to be some kind of pay method to where you can instantly smelt your stuff, which whales like me will definitely use to instantly smelt into our armor, so we don't have to wait and we could just continuously roll over and over again. Now the thing is, there is a max limit of 10 skills imparted to each piece of armor. So I'm assuming that means that each piece of armor can have a list of 10 skills into it. So if you go over 10, you can choose any skill to remove and save a new one. This is great because guess what? If you put one drift smelting piece onto a piece of armor and it can only have one, then you have to re-roll it over and over and over and over again. This way you have a list. So what's great about this is that you can customize your skills depending on what build you want. So that's really freaking cool. Now, if you go over 10, you can choose any skill to remove and save a new one. So that's even great. We could, after you do your whole 10, then you could just roll whatever you don't want to, which is awesome. We could even select it. They really put a lot of thought into this. You can set one drift smelt skill to a slot to activate during hunt. So you can only have one active during a time, and that's what I mean by customization really rocks. And there can be multiple slots on one piece of armor. Again, they really thought this out. So you have 10, you can re-roll and remove any one you want, and you can be flexible. So if you feel like if you invest in one piece of armor a lot, then you can use that piece of armor and have multiple different types of skills depending on the challenge you're trying to hunt with whatever large monster you're trying to eliminate. So yes, it's really cool. However, if you're going to drift smelt, what do you have to put onto your armor? These are called driftstones, and here's the details about driftstones. Driftstones are items you smelt into your armor to add new skills. So this is what you will put into your armor to add those new skills. Driftstones can be obtained as rewards for slaying large monsters, and different skills can be acquired via different types of driftstones. For example, if we look over here, right now we have Zinogre out on the field. So you can get an Amber Driftstone from Zinogre, Tobigadachi, Great Gyros, and Sisiaku. If you smelt that driftstone onto your piece of armor, you have a chance of getting Thunder Attack, Burst, Paralysis Attack, Offensive Guard, Divine Blessing, and there are non-specific ones as well, where you have that giant list that I'm not going to read to you. But yeah, so you have each one will give specific ones as well as non-specific ones. So it's great that we have 10 slots, otherwise we'd be rolling a lot for you to get that one piece of those skills you need for that one piece of armor you want. Because I'm definitely going to be hunting a lot of Zinogre because I want Burst on my armor for all the challenge because I use Burst a lot for all of my builds. So I want Burst a lot. I'm going to smelt a lot of Burst onto the armor pieces I use the most. What makes this system great, it's essentially like decorations. When you take out a monster, guess what? Every monster on the field is now worth slaying because they have a chance of dropping a Driftstone. So, now, remember that monster, like, I kill most of Great Jagresses I see. Remember that Great Jagress you used to ignore all the time? Well, guess what? Now it's totally worth slaying because you might get something you need to smelt onto your armor. Now, here are some additional information regarding Driftstones. You can double Driftstone rewards using special carving knives or gems. So for those of you like me that like using gems, so all of y'all are roasting me about having 8,000 gems, right? Well, guess what? That's about to get a whole lot smaller. Well, not a whole lot, but I'm definitely going to be using my gems for my Driftstones. Now, here's the thing. You can hold up to 9 Driftstones in your inventory. If you have 8 Driftstones and you double, the game will temporarily allow you to hold 10. So keep them at 8, like I will, and when you double, you can have 10. You can also delete Driftstones. So keep that in mind. Hey, if I have 10, then you gotta delete Driftstones or get ready to use those Driftstones onto the equipment that you want to set them for so that you can get the skill you need. But wait, there's more! So not only are you gonna get a new equipment skill, you also have something called skill parameters. So one of the following types of parameters will be added at random along with your random equipment skill. So if you look over here, the parameters that will be added at random are attack, defense, and infinity. For example, if you get burst level 1 onto your equipment, you can also get attack +1 or something like that, which makes it even cooler. But here's the thing, the values will be at random, so keep that in mind when you are putting that skill parameter and you're trying to perfect that and you're like, wait, that didn't give me the affinity parameter that I wanted. Don't be too stingy because, again, it's random, so keep that in mind. Might be more important to have the skill versus the skill parameter that goes along with it. But that's not all, because we also have something called Driftstone Shards. So Driftstone Shards are a byproduct of drift smelting, and you can exchange shards for drift gems. Keep in mind, drift gems and drift stones impart different skills. And you can check the skill details in the exchange menu. So for drift gems, when you exchange them, you can see, hey, this is what the details of the skill are, etc. And you can navigate to your Driftstone Shards by tapping on the bottom right icon in the drift smelting menu. And last but not least, here's some additional information. Drift smelting is available in the latest update, version 76.2. So, since the making of this video, I still don't have that update because I'm iOS. So yeah, you're gonna have to update to the latest version. Let's just hope this fixes some lag errors, issues, etc. And some of y'all will be able to play your game once you update to this version. And drift smelting is unlocked after completing the preseason story, which basically means you have to slay Rathalos in chapter 13. So once you slay Rathalos, this is available to you. So even more of a reason for you newer players to gun rush through the story. And types of driftstones and skills may change in the future. So with new monsters, etc., we might get more types of driftstones, so just keep that in mind. In closing, for those of you that never played Monster Hunter Rise, drift smelting is basically the Monster Hunter Now version of Quarryist crafting from Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, or Quarro crafting, or whatever the heck that, yeah, I think it was Quarro crafting is like the shorter term for it. But the system was very, very similar to this one in Monster Hunter Now, except you didn't have to walk in order to imprint stuff. So I will be making a drift smelting master guide in the future, so look out for that. This opens up a whole new dimension of content. And since I am the hardest working content creator as far as just pumping out content like a machine gun left and right, and on the daily, you can expect to see a whole lot of content. I thought I would have a break, man. Nah, there ain't no breaks. But again, a whole bunch of drift smelting content is about to come out for me. So with that being said, please do me a huge favor. Please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your Zinogre drops. I hope you're getting a bunch of them. And may all the Driftstone rolls be ever in your favor. Good luck on your grinds again, and I will see y'all on the next video.